Hello again, this is Joanna from Joanna the Medium, and these are going to be messages for May 2016. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and for watching, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate them, and I want to make sure that every month I say how appreciative I am of you watching these, because without you, at the end of the day, there's no point for me doing this. My May readings are a little bit late. My apologies. I have been trying to find the time to make them happen and to produce them, and it's just been a crazy April. And speaking of April has been a very transformative month. I do believe I mentioned this in April readings, but my understanding is that May is supposed to be a lot more peaceful, with a lot more pieces of the puzzle coming together, allowing you to feel much more at peace than you have been in the last 3 or 4 months. So I guess since the beginning of the new year. Please keep in mind, these are general readings. If you would like a private reading pertaining especially to you, or if you want to connect with a loved one, you can reach me at info@joannathemedium.com, and we can schedule an appointment via Skype, phone, or FaceTime, or if you're in town, in person. If these don't make sense to you, if your sun sign doesn't make sense to you, please look at your other signs, your rising sun and your moon sign, as I'm finding through your comments that some months, some of these make more sense to you than other times. So it'll help to create a much clearer picture of what's happening with you. Without further ado, let's proceed with May 2016, and I will see you shortly. And again, thank you so much for tuning in again. See you in a moment. Welcome back again. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Libra. As I did a couple of months ago and last month, I will do a bit of a channeled message prior to flipping the cards over, as something a little bit new, and I think this is going to expand. So let me see what Spirit wants to say before we look at the cards. Contentment and peace of mind. This is something that one will reach for, or should reach for, in the month of May. Contentment brings peace of mind. Peace of mind brings gratitude. Gratitude towards everything brings more of the same. And I don't mean to say that the world or the universe will bring more of the things we don't want, but we rarely have gratitude for the things we don't want. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and let's see what the cards have to say, and if they corroborate the message, which I would always find it to be that much more special and certainly validating. So let's start. In a position of now, we have the card throat chakra. Very interesting. For those of you who are not familiar with the chakra centers or energetic centers, those are the major 7 centers in our body. Throat chakra is right here. It's our voice box. And it is the part of us that is connected to us speaking our voice, speaking our truth. And it is also connected to us staying connected to our higher purpose. And this is something that I'm hearing. It's not something necessarily that I know. So it would be interesting to see if any of you can know anything about this. So, but let me just ask what the message is. As most of you know, I actually don't know how to read cards. I'm learning to, but my messages really come from Spirit. So learning to speak, it's not even learning, remembering to speak your truth or to speak your voice is something that is going to be very important for you in the month of May. And the reason for that is because I feel that there is something on the horizon that is coming to you. And when I say something, I mean something of a positive nature. And it is possibly something that you have been working on. And I feel this is connected to a career for many of you. For some of you, this will be a relationship or some other aspect of life. But it is important for you to remember to voice what you are wanting, what you are needing, so that your needs can be, in fact, brought up to fruition. Let me find another word. So that your needs can be met and accommodated. Speaking your truth and remembering your voice is going to be very, very important to you in the month of May. What I'm also feeling is that whoever it is that I'm talking to, or someone you know, there is a tendency to maybe not want to speak up, not necessarily because you've been shut down, though certainly that can be a component within you that was apparent a long time ago. But for the most part, I feel it's just you remembering how important it is to speak your voice and to speak your truth and to speak up for your needs, so that your needs can in fact be accommodated. So that's what's happening right now. Your voice box is very, very important. Also, what just came to me, for those of you who are suffering from laryngitis, and that is the word that I literally just heard, please take vitamin C. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, so obviously whatever I say, research, and then research some more. But I'm being told, whoever this pertains to, it might just be one person, you are running short on supply of vitamin C. So, and specifically for those who are dealing with laryngitis, okay? And I'm assuming laryngitis here. I wouldn't know. I just trust Spirit knows what they're talking about. Okay? All right. So let's move on to past influences. So basically, past influences pertaining to your throat chakra. And what we have the card called Conflict and Despair. Now, I was asked by some of you to hold up the card a little bit longer so that you can see. So I am going to oblige, of course, and show it to you. This is a card that pertains to your mental state or your mental faculty. This card, this is a number 5. It was shown to me in reverse. So what this is saying to me is that in your past, or in the past, I'm going just to shut down my email so it doesn't ring funny notes here. It is apparent to me that the reason why Spirit is asking you to remember to speak your voice, because in the past you actually felt despair, and that despair either stemmed from you not being able to speak up, or because you found yourself in despair, your voice was lost. So that's why Spirit said, they're reminding you to speak your voice, not because you don't know how, but because it is important for you to remember. So this is interesting that this card showed up as past influences. So this is actually where you're coming from. You have felt defeated in some way, even though that's not the word on the card. You have felt defeated in some way, and perhaps because of that circumstance or circumstances, your voice was shut down, and you didn't feel comfortable voicing, or you didn't feel safe enough to voice. Okay, but that is in the past, which means hopefully it's not going to happen in the future. Because typically, as soon as we learn from our experiences and become stronger, it doesn't have to be repeated again. So that's your past influences. Now, the card that represents your future, we have the card called Trapped in Fear. So I'm going to hold this card. This is card number 8. It is also pertaining to your mental faculty. But this card was shown to me in reverse. Okay? Let me just hold it. What this is telling me is that Your future is much, much brighter indeed, because you will remember to speak up for yourself. And I want to show you something. These two cards. So this is the future card, but it's in reverse. And this is the past influence or influences. Notice how similar these cards are. They're both looking or showing someone who is absolutely definitely in mental distress. It is very, very prominent. This card is shown to me in a position of past. This card is shown to me in a position of future, and it is in reverse. This is telling me that this is where you were, but this isn't necessarily where you are going, as long as you remember to speak your voice. Very, very important. 8 to me also represents number of stability, and 5 are changes. So this card, your future card, says to me, as long as you remember who you are, and as long as you stay true to yourself, you will never have to be in your mental prison ever again. Predominantly because you will not allow people to put you in situations that will push you back into your mental prison. And also because when you speak up for yourself, it signifies you have a strength within you, and therefore you also have respect for yourself. When you project that to the outside world, you will receive the same. Okay, and I believe that was the message that I was saying at the very beginning about receiving more of the same. So this is very similar. Now, in a position of the reason, so what's behind all this? We have the card called Foundation and Achievements. What this is saying to me, 4 is also a card of stability, but it's a number to me that represents that there's still quite a bit of work to be done. So it's the beginning of stability that's just on the way of being built. What this is saying to me, that all this mental stress that you have experienced and your inability or not remembering how to speak your voice stems from a situation that was once either very stable or something you worked very hard for, or it represents a family, a unit that didn't go well. This could show for some of you, or it could mean for some of you, that in your past, you were in a relationship where your partner or your significant other didn't allow you or contributed to you either putting yourself down, or your partner contributed to putting you down. For some of you, this certainly can represent a relationship at work where either a boss or someone significant in your workforce was either dominating, or you felt somewhat overwhelmed by their presence or their strong personality. Because of this, it's almost like it undermined your soul, your spirit, which would explain why you felt despair. It makes perfect sense to me. But because all of this is in the past, I'm not concerned about this. And I'm certainly not concerned about the fact that that's not where you're going, because the mental fear aspect is shown to me in reverse, which tells me you have gotten that lesson, you've learned it, and therefore you can expect a different outcome. Okay? Now, for the potential card, or the potential of all it is that you have gone through, beautiful. We have the card called Partnership and Alliances. I'll hold it a little bit closer. This card in this instance, even though it says partnerships and alliances, there's 2 components I want to talk about. One is you will attract people and situations into your life that will be supportive and supporting of who you are and what you want and where you want to go, which again is very consistent with the message I said at the very beginning. Be grateful for all the things that have come to you, as you will attract more of the same. I believe that's what I said at the very beginning. I'm not sure about the exact wording, because when I channel, it's not my head, it just kind of comes through me and then I forget. So the potential of all of this, of you speaking your voice, asking for what you need, all of this is going to help you create a world where things will align and it's like I see them all click and fit. And I feel that that is a very drastic change from where you come from. I absolutely see, whoever this message is for, that you come from a place at some point in your life where you felt either dominating or being domineered by someone or being oppressed by someone. That is no longer the case. You have grown, you have evolved, you have learned whatever your soul wanted to learn and overcome, and you are now in a place where you will use your experience as a strength to not only help you move forward, get past it, but attract the opposite of what you are used to. That is a beautiful message. It is a very empowering message. And it certainly is congruent with the fact that Spirit said May will be about peace a lot more than what you have had in the last 4 months or the last few months. So for some of you, the situation that I'm talking about stems from last year. For some of you, it could go back years and years and years. But sounds to me and looks to me like May looks very promising indeed. And it's a month where you are going to be able to go, I can finally relax. Also, I'm being told that you do not have to worry about your safety. You are safe. I also feel that you are safe and you're in an environment where it's safe for you to speak up. I do believe for some of you, again, this fear or this past fear comes from a place where when you spoke up, you were either reprimanded or shut down, where you very early on learned that speaking your voice or speaking up is not a good thing. Hence again, being trapped in the despair. But that's your past. This is, and I hear the word balance. Find your balance. For as long as you remain in a balanced state, life will flow much more smoothly. Now, for each and every one of us, balance comes in different ways, shapes, and forms. It isn't always like this. It just simply isn't. I believe when I say balance, I believe you know what I mean. You feel balance. The moment it's unbalanced, you can feel it. So as long as you stay in balance, or as long as you strive for balance, life will always be a lot more smoother. And certainly when you're in an oppressive environment, that is not balance. So, but I think you got the message. I hope this makes sense. As always, I would love your comments because I just simply love them. This message doesn't mean anything to me other than the words. I hope it has a special meaning to you. And I hope you find it very uplifting and very energizing, if anything. I wish you best of luck. I wish you a wonderful month of May. And I look forward to seeing you again in June. Take care. Bye.